Why do black athletes dominate basketball, football, and sprinting? Is it genetics? Is it culture? Or is it something deeper? Do black people have superior genetics for sports and fitness? What do you think?
Nah,
No?
I feel like that's just a stereotype.
Really?
What was the real purpose of doing this topic today?
So basically, if you follow me on TikTok, you know I recently had a post go viral with this girl, Rose, who's got an amazing physique, and the number one thing that kept coming up in the comments was genetics. So it gave me an idea. We should investigate genetics and why black people dominate sports and fitness. And is it genetics? Is it culture? What is it? So that's what we're here to find out. So to begin my investigation, I looked up some statistics on black athletes in all major sports. I also, on the opposite end, looked up statistics on obesity rates amongst blacks within the United States. For the NBA, as of 2023, approximately 70.4% of NBA players were black. These are statistics being provided by NBEmag.com. NFL, the National Football League, in 2022, about 56.4% of NFL players were black, also citing the same website. Now, when it comes to track and field, while specific percentages are not readily available, black athletes have historically dominated track and field events, particularly in sprinting, jumping disciplines. The notable figures include Jesse Owens, Usain Bolt, and Florence Griffith Joyner. Alright, so first question is, do you think black people are just naturally better at sports and fitness?
Of course I do.
Alright, and why do you think that?
One, because they dominate every sport, like basketball, football.
Why do people think black people have these insane genetics? I watched a video that said it could be natural selection. What do you think is the reasoning behind it?
I think it's natural selection. I don't think it has nothing to do with anything else, because most of us didn't have to train or nothing to do it.
That's true.
So it gotta be natural selection.
So that brings me to another question. What do you think sports would look like without black people?
Sports without talent.
All right, pretty cut and dry, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Have a nice day, brother.
We're investigating the secret behind black genetics. Do you think that black people have superior genetics for sports and fitness?
I'd say overall, yeah.
Yeah? And why do you think that is?
Honestly, I don't know. The ones who survived are the ones that are left.
Gosh.
So they were most likely the strongest, you know what I mean? I think that could be part of it, but honestly, I don't know.
Okay. Why don't you think you see many white sprinters at the Olympics?
Lack of fast twitch muscle fibers, to be honest.
Okay.
That's why I think.
So for you specifically, what would you say it stands out in your genetics physically? For me, it's my chest. I have decent calves. They're not crazy. Obviously, I'm short.
The width of my overall shoulders for my height, and then I feel like my legs.
Gotcha.
I have really thick legs, quads, and I don't.
It must be nice.
Much, you know. But I can't find pants that fit, so you know.
All right. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Now, on the opposite end, when it comes to the obesity rates within the black community in the United States, they are as follows. 49.6% of black men and 56.9% of black women were classified as obese as detailed by the CDC. Then I got the question in my head, how could the same group of people that are doing these amazing things and have these amazing accomplishments in sports, they dominate bodybuilding, Ronnie Coleman, Lee Haney, also have such a high number of obesity rates when they have these superior genetics? So I had to get information right from the source, and that's why we went to Harlem specifically to ask black people what they thought on the matter. From a female perspective, do you think both black men and women have superior genetics when it comes to sports and fitness? Be honest.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
How about you?
Yes.
All right, and why do you think that is?
I mean, not to sound no way, but like they just really, in a lot of sports, they just very like dominant, like in basketball, football, like, and the way they build, like a lot of, you know, African American colored people, they have bodies.
So let's go specifically to women. Why do you think women are more voluptuous when it comes to black women? Why do you think like the curves and
it's just it's just genetic. That's how it.
Back to genetics,
like, that's how
ancestry,
like that's just how it
everything.
was. Even with African women, like African women, we having bodies. It's just how we.
it's just like that?
Just in
And
there.
a lot of us don't even gotta go to the gym to get that body.
So is it racist to say black athletes are just built different?
No, it's not racist. It's just it is what it is. Like that's the facts.
Now that we know from your perspective, black people are dominating these sports, why do you think it's also the fact that there's such a high obesity rate in the African American community?
Sometimes obesity just comes from people having actual health issues. So there are certain medications that actually blow you up as well, that'll put that extra weight on you.
It becomes a habit. Like sometimes, like it's kind of hard to break that habit. If you've been eating like that for a long, long time, and you don't see nobody else around you doing it, so it's kind of like.
So you think that specific issue in the obesity is more cultural than having to do with genetics when it comes to obesity?
Sometimes I do think it's cultural because it's like, even like in slavery, like they always ate bad food, and that's just how it was. And like you know, you pass those same habits, you know, for generations to generations.
What can I do as a fitness professional to help promote healthier eating and healthier living amongst black people?
It starts with like information, like educating, like okay, why you should reduce eating like greasy food, fatty food. Like start like
A lecture that.
start slow, like okay, like how to like decrease, because to tell somebody to completely cut it out, like it's hard. So just giving them information, giving them numbers, statistics works, like showing people like okay, like this is how much African American people are dying from this. This is.
So when it comes to the athletes, it's genetics, but when it comes to the specific problem of obesity, it's more cultural, and that's a good thing because we can make those changes. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It was nice talking.
Yeah. Do you think sports would look the same if there were no black athletes? What would sports look like?
Shit.
Okay.
It would be boring. It won't be no competition. You know, it would be basic.
So now that we know, based on your opinion, that the reason why black people are so successful in so many of these sports is because of everything that they've gone through, why do you think there's also a high number of obesity within the black community?
We love to eat. And a lot of, it's, like I said before, it got to do with home training.
Gotcha.
You know, a lot of us wasn't home trained properly. And if we was, we love to eat.
Gotcha.
And, you know, and we love the fried chicken. We love the greasy spoon. You know, greasy food, platanos, rice and beans, pork chops, especially the pig. I don't eat pig.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten pig for 30 years, 40 years, so.
So what do you think we can do to try to combat that, so people, especially with people that have these superior genetics, can actually meet their potential? What can we do, especially me as a fitness professional?
Gather knowledge and ask questions. What you don't know, ask. And get off your ass.
Okay.
You know, and do something about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what most people don't do nowadays. They don't show and prove. You know, that's it, you know?
There we go, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Now that I had an understanding of what black people thought of the topic of genetics, I wanted to ask similar questions to people of other races to get a different perspective. And let's just say not everyone was comfortable discussing this topic. What race of people do you think has the best genetics specifically for sports and fitness?
I just really think it's kind of a dangerous line of thought, looking at race as the sole category for genetics. And
do you think it has a contributing factor at all?
Contributing, like things with health, think there's a very dangerous consequence to making the assumption that certain things cause certain things. Actually, please don't use that. I'd just rather not.
My first question is, who do you think has the best genetics for sports and fitness?
I mean, typically I would say like African Americans, they have like a taller build. I would say I'm from like Middle Eastern / Asian genetics, and we have height-wise and build-wise, we're not like super big and we don't get super tall.
Gotcha. And why do you think that is specifically?
I'm not sure. There's probably some biology behind it. It might be about the location geographically.
Do you think natural selection has anything to do with it?
Absolutely. That's the biology part of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got you. So you think it's more nature, not so much nurture?
Well, no, I think it's a mix of both. I think there are some genetics that you're born with that you can't help with what you have, like you're sort of born with it.
Yeah, like I'm never gonna be 6 foot tall.
There's some advantages to that. There's some genetic advantages to being 6'2",
Yeah.
But then again, like the genetic advantage of being shorter is that you build muscle faster. So yeah, like you're a pretty ripped guy. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You look like you have a tendency to like sort of build quicker and look bigger.
And do you think sports would look the same without black athletes?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. What do you think it would look like?
Very bland. Very I don't know. Like if you look at the NBA, for example, or you get what you're born with. It's a lottery.
Go, man. Thank you so much,
problem.
brother. I'm gonna give you my YouTube channel. What race of people do you think have the best genetics for sports and fitness?
What race of people?
Yeah.
Africans, 100%.
Yeah. And why would you say that?
I think they've got more fast twitch type 2 fibers, so their muscle fibers are stronger, and bigger.
Why do you think we don't see many sprinters of other races like in the Olympics?
They're not as good.
Huh?
They're not as fast.
And you think it's specifically because of fast twitch muscle fibers?
Not necessarily. Obviously, you've got a lot of fast people, but I'd say like more Africans are just faster. Generally,
No problem, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Take care of yourself.
Now, as a fitness coach with many years in the fitness industry, I've seen firsthand how genetics can play a crucial role in someone's athletic or fitness ability in the gym. And yes, there are some studies that show that people with West African descent tend to have more fast twitch muscle fibers, which makes them more explosive. No sport is this more prevalent than in basketball. I clearly don't have the genetics for this sport. We are here with Kyle. First question, what role do you think genetics plays in your current athletic abilities?
Well, like the men in my family, we all kind of slim. It's not really like no fat people. We all like slim. Down to my grandfather, he's like 70. He's still slim like me.
Oh wow, so low body fat percentage.
Yeah.
Do you think black people are just naturally better at sports?
Nah, I don't think naturally better. No. Obviously, for basketball, you got to be taller. To make it in like the big leagues, you got to be more taller.
Yeah, I ain't doing nothing in basketball.
You could spend hours in the gym, but if you're not above 6'2", you're not gonna make it to the league. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I guess
that is genetic.
Yeah, that's genetic, and I guess they say black people be tall and stuff like that. But other than that, I can't really say nah. Like,
do you think sports would look the same without black athletes? If not, what would it look like?
Nah, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be the same, bro. I'll be honest with you. Nah, hell no.
So what would it look like? Would it be as entertaining?
Nah, I'm just being real, dog. I don't want to say boring, but I feel like I'm a big fan of basketball. That was the only really sport I really pay attention to. I like UFC too, like fight sports. When it comes to basketball, just the players who are in there, you see what they doing, man. You see the highlights. Bro, if you take black people out of the sport, there's no NBA, bro.
What message would you like to impart on people that may have good genetics that may be leaning on that a little bit too much?
I would say get your ass in the gym. That's why I started coming like a month ago. I'm literally like fresh in here, like literally signed up a month ago. It don't matter with your genetics or whatever, bro. Don't be lazy, get in the gym, because yeah, that's what I would say. Don't depend on your genetics. Like, work.
There you go. Thanks, bro. That was a good interview, bro. We're talking about genetics today, so I got 5 questions. The first one is, what role does genetics play in your current fitness or athletic abilities?
When I first started working out, I would say my arms and my chest especially developed like fast. Like, so I don't know if that's attributed to genetics, but I just started like, when I noticed it, I started capitalizing off of it.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end, you know, I got this belly, and my sister told me that that's genetics too. And it's been very hard to, you know, get it down.
Got you. Yeah, so that's the thing. Genetics could be hit or miss. You know, there's some people that they have higher body fat percentage, but they're very, very strong. Do you think black people are just naturally better at sports?
Sometimes I want to say that, but I mean, I see Latin guys really good at soccer, what they call football, and black people are, they do excel in sports and athleticism, but maybe on a natural level, yes, but I don't think it's uniform across the board. I see a lot of guys, especially in the gym, other races, and they're really pumping some iron. And when it comes to basketball, I've seen some white boys that can hoop. It might be true. If you ever look at the Caribbean man or the African man's physique, like natural, some of them guys don't even work out. They just work day-to-day construction or whatever they do, yard work, and their physiques are top tier. So it's possible.
All right, last one. Do you think sports would look the same without black athletes? If not, what would it look like?
Nah. They bring a little flavor to the game.
So what would sports look like today in 2025 without any black athletes?
Exactly how it looks on paper when they describe a layup, a jump shot, a dribble. Exactly how it's described and typed, that's how it would look. But black people like Iverson, they bring a certain crossover. Jordan flew from the free throw line, gave you a logo that still stands to this day. So I think they give a little flavor, a little seasoning to the basic recipe.
Got you. Man, that's great, bro. There you go. Thank you. No matter what your genetic makeup is, if you're having a tough day in the gym, everyone needs that extra boost. And for me, if it's a tough leg day or I'm just really dragging, instead of the regular pre-workout, I go with the hardcore stim. This is HTLT's newest formula of their hardcore stim. So yeah, if you need pre-workout, post-workout, creatine, Turf Max, anything to fuel your gains in the gym, make sure you head on over to htltsubs.com and use code JesusV for 15% off. Back to your video. Now we're gonna get a unique perspective from an actual fitness professional. So introduce yourself for the people watching.
Hi, my name is Janae.
What role does genetics play in your current athletic abilities or your abilities in the gym?
I think it plays a big role. My family is Jamaican. And you see how we rock on the track field. So it's like, I feel like there is a bit of an athletic build to me, an advantage, if that makes sense. One thing I noticed is that I have like really broad shoulders and really long arms and legs, like you said.
Genetics,
and so I did realize that that is genetics and plays a role in, you know, how I lift and how I train.
Do you think black people are just naturally better at sports?
Yes.
All right.
Do you need me to name names? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just give me an example of why you feel that way.
A few, like Jordan comes to mind, dominating in sports. In track and fields, you have, I forgot his name, Bolt.
Usain Bolt, yeah.
You know, I don't know. We even in track and fields with
the Jamaican women dominate.
Even if it's not Jamaican, it's USA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They go head to head a lot.
I just feel like black people dominate in sports.
Yeah. Do you think sports would look the same without black athletes? If not, what would it look like?
No. I think it would be a bit boring. I think black, white, any race, I feel like they bring character, but particularly, again, I literally just finished watching The Last Dance with Jordan, and like he was just such a character. He literally revived the NBA at the time that he came out. So I just feel like, no, sports would not be the same without black athletes.
Got you. I feel like Jordan is one of those enigmas where although his genetics probably obviously lent itself to his ability, his work ethic took him over the top.
That
Like
part.
he couldn't be Jordan without working as hard as he did.
And I think that was one of
He
my
would have been an average basketball player, but without him being the person he was, having the ego and the drive and the work ethic, there's no way he would have been who he is. All right, so last thing, as a fitness professional, what is a last message you want to leave for people with good genetics, with bad genetics, whatever the case is?
Wow, just work out, strength train, regardless of your genetics. Like after a certain age, you metabolize different. You're dropping weight different and putting on weight differently. And so it's like no matter your genetics, everyone should be moving. Everyone should be strength training. Yeah.
Absolutely. There you go. You heard it here first. So, is it genetics? Is it culture? Is it just plain old hard work and good work ethic? Who knows? I definitely don't know. I don't have the answer. I just wanted to start the conversation. So let me know in the comments what you think thus far. What I will say though is something along the lines what Rose said in the initial TikTok video. And it's like, no matter what your genetics are, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're Puerto Rican, no matter what it is, do not let your perceived idea of whatever your genetics might be determine how hard you're going to work for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Whether you're an athlete and you're trying to make it in a particular sport, if you're a bodybuilder like me and you're trying to build muscle, no matter what it is, no matter what your genetics might be, you'll never know what the potential is for those genetics unless you work hard, you eat right, you sleep well, and you live a healthy lifestyle. And at the end of the day, as a certified fitness professional, that is the message that I want to get across. So in my eyes, I do believe that black people, not all, but a good number, have superior genetics for sports and fitness, but that's not going to determine how hard I work in the gym. If you like this video, please like, comment your thoughts. It's something different that I'm trying, and join me on this mission to 1 million subscribers and trying these new ideas and new videos. And as always, until next time, fuck your insecurities.